Very recently, Nigerian Minister of Communication, Mr. Adebayo Shittu, and Sahara Reporters founder, Omoleye Sowore, exchanged words during a radio interview over who is eligible to contest for election. According to Sowore, he is the giant that will kick the present government out of power, while Shittu mocked the Sahara Reporters published, saying that he's politically inconsequential. So the conversation really is,
at no point
who is, do we need
any political office holder,
right,
tell somebody that voted him into office that is politically inconsequential?
He wasn't voted. He's the minister. He was appointed.
No,
actually.
I'm saying that we voted the power into office that appointed him.
Okay.
He's part of a body that represents the people.
Yes.
The people are speaking. You say they are politically inconsequential. It is the arrogance that has led to the failure of the government people are complaining about.
Hang on, let's not get to hang in there. Let's not get to be emotional. Let's be factual.
Let me
here.
explain.
I'll let you explain, because he's saying that he's politically inconsequential. He's saying that you don't have any foundation. You don't have any political relevance. Because who knows you? You can't drop from heaven and say you want to run for office. There's got to be something. They have to have a pedigree within your community to know.
And Sowore replied that
yes,
this government came to power on the backs of the youth, campaigning for them. You see, when you forget your source, you will die. Any river that gets also will die. And we're seeing that happening gradually. A place where, and I'm not saying this is a reflection of the president or the presidency, but you need to guard people that are speaking for you to ensure that saying the right things.
I was going to direct a question for us to converse about.
Oh, yeah.
That what do we need in Nigeria? Do we need people who have that political relevance, who have that experience politically? Or do we need a technocrat who is clueless like a Donald Trump from the private sector to come in and say, you know what, I'm going to fix Nigeria? What exactly do we want? Because people keep using this political relevance as a yardstick to stop people from running for office.
Governor Fashola was chief of staff before he became governor. We didn't know him politically. So he allowed then his predecessor to do the politics while he employed technocrats and Lagos moved forward in his 8 years. So we need both of them. Political foundation, because if you don't know politics, you don't know how to reach them in the grassroots, and that's how you get the votes. But you need the technocrats eventually when you win, because we saw what happened to this government. They came into power and they seemed clueless because they didn't have the people who could now hit the ground running and do the work.
But Buhari was accused of not engaging politicians. Was accused of engaging technocrats, remember? In the early days. Say that he left all the people that... When they hanging them... Listen, the point I'm trying to make is that people accuse him that the politicians that actually helped you to harness the vote, you left them out and you're not getting people who are not even there in the politics. But they're politicians.
No, were they politicians? They were just his own people.
His people now, he knew, people he had worked with before, people he trusted.
Okay.
I don't think we should, because the political experience, so to speak, has failed us. I think people should be put in power based on what they can do. Let us look at track records. What have they done in their businesses, in their every aspect of their lives? How have they been able to hold institutions or lead institutions?
Capacity.
Of course. We have to look at him.
What did you say?
Which was a question we did not ask our president.
Wait,
so our president
acted
actively as a president,
yes,
after which he was a minister. But after he left politics, we didn't bother to find out. And I was asked, but I didn't answer. What did he do between that time? What have you done with your time? How have you mentored? How many books have you written? What exactly did the president do between
President Buhari.
This period of aspiration until he became president?
Right.
You need to have track record. You cannot give what you don't have. So we have a current crop of leaders that have been revolving, there's been
political scenario.
People for a long time.
Cycling each other.
As if really Nigerians, as if worked for you.
It hasn't worked.
If they have worked for you, vote for them.
So the radio presenter asked Sowore what his political experience was. And he said, which experience are you talking about? Experience in assassinations?
Good question.
The minister said, Sowore, go and start as councillor. I've been doing this for 40 years. And Sowore responded and said, I've been doing this for 30 years. As a student activist.
Yeah.
So, which experience really are we looking for? The politicians who they just grow from councillor in local government, where they were just sharing money, they were not. For instance, in Lagos State, my local government chairman, do I know him? Does he do any street? Does he do anything? So is that where you want them to start? Or you want somebody who really has the interest of people at heart?
Okay, the thing I see is because we come from a culture where elders are seen to be more experienced and knowledgeable, it has played into our political system over time. So these elders feel that because they are more experienced, they're older, they have more knowledge, they can run the country, and they don't want to leave that chance, they don't want to give that opportunity to young people.
Let me take this call. Bimbo, are you there? Bimbo? Hello, Bimbo, are you there? I think we lost that call.
People will get the quality of government they deserve.
Yes.
So we have people that have neglected governance to a group of, we just left them. We're now seeing the effect of that neglect that has taken place over the past 30 years. We're seeing the effect in the past 10 years and like, what were we looking at? They were just stealing us dry because we had the military oppression.
But we're forgetting something very important. There is a machinery that has been working. There's a political machinery that people have knowledge about, that many of us are clueless about. People like Sowore, people like the West Kingsley or Ogalu, who is running for office. These are technocrats. These are people that are not politically inclined. So those machineries, you don't know how it works. You don't know how it functions. And you come in. So he always makes up. That's why he passed to Tommy run for office, and nobody will listen to him because what does he know about the political machinery?
It brings me to the place of political inconsequence because you understand that with or without you, we will win the election. We know how we do this thing, and we win. So if people want to let the leaders in power, if they're not pleased with what they're doing, and they want to make their votes count, they should know that regardless of whatever you do, we would ensure we go out and vote. As long as people step out with their cards, they cannot rig because the numbers will show. Yes. Rigging happens when there is a gap between people that come out and those that are actually in that figure.
Let me take this call.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Welcome back. Who is eligible? Is that question in the Nigerian context really exists?
Fantastic question, sir.
In this country, as far as I'm concerned, I think the election actually takes place in Nigeria and in position. And all of us, except if you want to look at all Nigerians as the gullible people, that's when you now ask this kind of question. Well, you and I know election is not conducted in Nigeria. It's an imposition, and people are just fixing those offices. Why won't I ask you to say that? What experience does he have? I worked on the live program Sunday show yesterday, and he couldn't even express himself. Is that kind of person that you want to come to the race? What is going to achieve? Nothing. How quality does he have? Nothing.
All right, thank you very much, Victory.
Yeah, the minister mentioned something while they were having their arguments that, how do you pronounce Sowore?
Sowore or Yele.
Okay. Yele doesn't have the funds to back himself up.
And Yele responded.
And he knows the way the political scenario is, you need funds. So he told him that, so you expect me to, so you are telling me I cannot have power because I'm not a money bag? That brings me to mind on how our political system is too expensive.
Yeah. But Yele responded
for the common man.
And said that money failed the PDP in 2015.
Yes.
So we have
I was going to say that because many elections in recent times.
He said, Minister, you know now that they were sharing money to traditional leaders, but the Jonathan government still lost the election.
So the people spoke.
Yes. So I saw him at another place talking to students, and he said, we have not paid anybody to come here today. And it was a large gathering. So Sowore is going to students. And he mentioned that he has 30 years. Remember that he's been doing underground investigative journalism,
for a long
exposing lots of politicians for years.
I think the conversation really is helping us remind ourselves that, listen, the power is with us.
We must know
anybody can put political machinery in place. That's their business. That's their own permutations and combinations, because they did this with Trump campaign. Everything said it was Hillary. Even we in Nigeria said, hey, Hillary. Before you know it, the people spoke.
He spoke to
so
the people.
we also let the politicians, that the aspiring people talk to us. But let me take one tweet.
Just one. Joel says, let's not blame the Minister of Communication, Adebayo Shitu. He expressed the mind of the current ruling class about the aspirations of young Nigerians. This makes the not too young to run bill a mere fantasy.
Okay, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we have a special guest with us. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So we have a politician and a technocrat, Mrs. Mojisola Yaya Kolade. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
You're welcome.
She's going to be joining the conversation concerning youth engagement in politics. And also, we also know you're running for office. You'd like to be the governor of Ekiti State, hopefully. Let's start with where we're coming from, the conversation we're talking about. People talking about the fact that young people getting involved, new faces, women, man, young, old, people getting into politics. What are your views on that conversation? Did you see the conversation that happened with Showore and Shitu? What are your views on it?
I was very aware of what was going on. Basically, this is my take. Young people should get involved. Okay. Women should get involved. We should all get involved. We shouldn't leave the politics of Nigeria to a particular group of people.
Right. Okay.
There's no reason to recycle people. We need new brains, new minds, new ideas to put things together. So whether you are young or old, you can still make a difference.
Okay, so it's not about age. So you disagree with the Minister of Communications that go and start from your local government council.
You know, that is the problem that we have, because a lot of people have gotten into politics and excel, whether Nigeria or internationally, and they did not necessarily start from the council. Politics is not a career. It's something, it's a service to the people.
Okay. So,
go in where you feel comfortable.
So the minister accused Showore of being politically inconsequential. Up until today, I've never heard your name nor seen you.
Okay.
Aren't you politically inconsequential in Ekiti State?
Of course, I'm politically, the consequence is very, very important. To tell a voter that they are inconsequential is a mistake. The truth about it is that the people that vote you in the office are the people that has the power. That your voter's card and your thumb and whatever you put there is what gives you the power. Power belongs to the people. And the people are the voters. It's not the elected people that have the power. The elected people are to serve the people. And one of the major problems we're having is that we keep recycling people. We are not allowing the newer ones to come in. You don't need a pedigree to serve your people. You just need passion.
No, I also don't think it is just about passion, because you're seeing people that go into power with passion, you know, fighting till they got there, but they don't have the capacity to do, they don't even have the know-how. So it's technical know-how, it's the leadership, it's the character. People don't have it. We've seen that it's not by giving me boli or eating boli. It's not about being humble. It's about knowing how to harness the potentials of the state you're in.
And integrity doesn't work the economy.
So, I want to ask you a question. What have you been doing? This is a question I thought we didn't ask our current leaders. That what have you been doing that should qualify you to aspire for a political position?
Excellent. That's an excellent question. That's the question I've been asking. I was introduced, I'm a physician by training.
Okay.
I'm a consultant in medicine.
Okay.
I'm a pharmacist by training. I'm a nurse. I'm a midwife. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a farmer.
Whoa.
I have an excellent life going on.
Okay.
I have achieved on my own. I don't need to be an essay or a rep to have anything to do. I have a lot going on in my life as I sit here, both internationally and locally. So this is the question.
You have a track
There's
record.
a track record of what I've done with my life before this point. So
I wanted to ask, how long have you been in politics? Have you had any form of
Partisan politics.
no partisan politics. Basically what I've done in the past, I'm a charitable person. By profession, I'm a physician. I've always taken care of people all my life. So that got me into politics. I got into politics through charity, because I was actually taking care of the grassroots people, the poor, impoverished. But when I came back from the US and I got involved, I realized that you cannot actually go and just help people.
why did you decide to get into politics now?
Okay.
and not when you were a lot more younger?
Okay. The issue with me as a woman, as a career woman,
Right.
a technocrat, somebody who was actually practicing medicine,
Right.
who has a business. I have my own practice in America.
Right.
Okay.
I was very, very busy.
Right.
And I was planning that by the time I turned 50,
Right.
there is a sense of giving back to the
Right.
community.
Right.
I'm not raising kids again. I don't have babies
Have
again.
time now.
I have time. I have the passion. I
Fantastic.
have the know-how.
Okay.
I have the knowledge.
Right.
I have, I've been harnessing people to do the right thing.
Now, I hear from what we heard that Ekiti governorship they're looking for a Ikere governor, not necessarily from any other part of Ekiti
Which
state.
party is that?
The Ikere is where my husband is
Which
from. That's
party?
the part. But what the general consensus is that Ikere is going to
they've not
produce
had
the
for a
next
while.
governor, not Oye, not Ado, not any other place.
Whose
That's-
consensus?
wait,
Hold on,
let me
let her
finish.
finish.
So, since you are from Oye,
Yeah.
what chance do you have if the general consensus, both from the various parties that agreed that Ikere is producing the next governorship, what chance do you think you have?
Okay, let me just correct you on that
Okay.
point. There's no consensus of opinion that says the governorship should come
Has
from
to
Ikere.
Ikere, okay.
There's an agitation
Right.
to have a governor from the south.
Okay.
Ikere is not just the south.
Okay.
The south belongs to Ilawe and a lot of other places.
Right.
So what people are agitating, because we've had governors from the central, from the north, some people were agitating.
Right.
But the leaders of the party and the people that were sitting in power said, it is not necessary to do a rotational thing.
Right.
What we need is a qualified, capable
Regardless of
candidate.
effort.
Sorry to interrupt. You said the leaders of the party, which was why I kept on asking which
What
party.
party?
You know, some
Okay,
parties will sit down and say, "Oh, this is what we decide," and we
Right.
make it seem like law. PDP says, "Oh, we've had a northern president, so now we want the southern," and they make it seem like law. Nigerians don't really care where you're from, as far as you're going to lead us
Deliver.
out of poverty. My question
Okay.
is, we've seen what Governor Fayose has done in Ekiti. He predominantly depends on federal allocation, and a lot of it is on stomach infrastructure. Without a background in governance, you're
Yeah.
coming from the civic society, the NGO, are we not, I'm afraid on your behalf, aren't you afraid that you get to become governor and you'll be overwhelmed
Get
by
stuck.
the amount of work you need to do?
Okay, this is my take on that. I'm not just coming from NGO, I'm an entrepreneur.
Okay.
When you are an entrepreneur, I've created jobs. I'm an employer. I'm an employer of labor. One of the basic problems I see in Ekiti is that most people, they work for the state. It's a government state. That's all. Everybody works with the ministry. You need to provide job in Ekiti. You need somebody that has the acumen and the capability to provide job.
How are you going to do that?
We're going to go, there's a short-term goal and there's a long-term goal. The short-term goal, Agric, very, very simple. I just said, I'm a farmer.
Right.
I have over 300 hectares of land. I farmed maize and I'm doing cassava. I have a processing factory in Nigeria. So I have a healthcare facility in America.
Right.
I have done this in the past, providing jobs
You
for
got your
people.
own money
we
too.
have-
Hang it there, Tokwe. Yes, go ahead.
Yes.
We have a lot of people come out,
Yes.
in their manifestos, having big dreams. I'm going to be able to do this, do that.
Yes.
And then they
promise
get
heaven
into
and earth.
power,
Yes.
and the cabals that be
Ah.
choke them so much they can't even see.
Lobato.
So what do you,
Okay.
what are your plans? Because you might get there with all your dreams, and people working do not believe in those dreams. They want to, first of all, satisfy their interests. How do you come out of that?
Okay, I'm very aware of the cabals. The problem, this is what I think happens to the cabals. When you are running for election, like you previously said in your earlier section, that the cost of election in Nigeria is very expensive. The moment you start depending on people to give you money, and they start giving you conditions on how you're going to run your government,
Right.
then you're shackled.
sold your
Right.
soul.
You sold your soul.
So you don't need the money.
So at this point, I'm working within my means.
Right.
What I'm capable of doing,
Okay.
giving the electorates and the delegates what I can afford,
Right.
not promising them heaven and earth.
Right.
We have a very simple manifesto. It's a 7-point agenda.
Right.
Very, very simple. We are not making a 21 list. There's a short-term goal and a long-term.
I have been to Ikere recently, and the truth is that, you see, it's almost, I feel bad because it's almost as if there's really no vision. When you go to many of the southwest states, yes, there's the city, and there are the
villages,
the rural areas that are very, very underdeveloped. I mean, people are just so comfortable living in shackles and all these huts and all this. And I'm thinking, and when the politicians go there, they go there and campaign, they post all their things, and I'm wondering, can't you see what you're doing to the people, the suffering of the people? Yeah. So what are you going to do differently? Because is it that you're going to try to make everybody come into the city, or what are you going to do, especially for those rural areas?
Okay, let me just say, one of the things that is bringing me to this point of politics is because of the poverty seen in Ekiti. Okay. I'm an Ekiti girl that grew up somewhere else. So when I finally got back home, I saw the reality of where I call home. And because of this, my people being poor, underprivileged, and there's nothing to it, that is why I got into politics. There's a lot to be done. You don't just give people crumbs, you don't give them fish, you teach them how to fish.
Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So, Tokwe,
I've been holding on with my question. I find that the political space in Nigeria is very, very expensive, and we have individuals who are competent standing on their own with no hope of winning election because they're not willing to partner. So I have seen some very good, impressive CV people that are technocrats in Ekiti State come out, and every one of you are standing alone. But you know you're about to fight a behemoth. That person is big and is on ground. Would it not serve you better to partner with other people you can see genuineness in their interest? You cannot be the only good-hearted person in the Ekiti State contesting. Would you not serve you to partner with people, other people that are also, they've declared aspiration, and see how you can work together to make Ekiti great?
Okay, there will be a time for that. When you are contesting going through the primary election, it gets to a point where partnering is possible. Okay. But at this point, you have to be very careful. This is part of the problem. If you partner with the wrong person whose ideology is not yours, of course I'm not the only best one with the best interest, but there are a lot of people with different ideas. You don't know people until you actually work with them. The best way is secure the ticket, see what you want to do, then other people will come around you. Yes. Then you have to be the player. Okay. There's something that I saw recently. They were talking about women as deputies.
No, not anymore. We're refuting that.
For how long are we going to be there?
Yeah.
I have to. Yes, I have two questions from Suki Samuel. Yeah. It says, you have not told us, our guest, you've not told us how you have revolutionized the educational sector. How you will. That's one. Okay. Then secondly said, you haven't also told us how many people you have empowered with your business.
Okay.
In Ekiti.
Many people. Okay. When it comes to empowerment, this is something I've been doing for the last 8 years, especially with women and youths. The women, most of them are illiterate. Some of them are widows. They don't really have a job. So what I've been doing in the past is giving them means so they can actually work for themselves and earn their own living.
Okay. In Ekiti State.
In Ekiti State. Okay. And I've done things in Lagos too.
Okay.
So I'm not just Ekiti State.
Let me take Oluwale.
Yes. I want to congratulate the medical doctor, pharmacist, I want to congratulate her especially, and God will continue to strengthen you.
Amen.
You will get to the promised land.
Amen.
Okay.
The Holy Spirit said, separate me, Barnabas and Saul, for the job I have chosen them to manage. You are one of the Barnabas or Paul of our time.
Yeah, Barnabas
and
Paul.
I believe God will push you to where you are going to be.
I say Deborah.
Madam,
yes.
My own take is this. All these politicians that impose candidates, they are the people who are destroying Nigeria. They assume God, they play God.
They will tell a man that is qualified, stay on till the next term. By the next term, the man that is in the saddle of leadership will have brought money to buy the second term.
Okay. I wanted to ask the question about empowerment, because we're seeing some governors, give out tea, eggs, wheelbarrow, because they say that, they have PhD in public administration and you must only give the people what they want. What kind of empowerment are you going to be empowering in Ekiti State? And two major, very important ministries, health and education. What are your plans already? Okay. I'm asking 3 questions in one. What political platform? Because that will also determine how far you go.
Okay. I'm on APC platform. That's the first
There are
answer.
29 candidates in APC for Ekiti.
It's even more than 29. We're getting to 40 now.
Jesus.
Yes, that is a fact. The second one, academically, I call myself a scholar. I've studied for so many years. I'm an academician. I know what goes when it comes to academics. One of the major things we want to do is to give the standard education in the public sector. You don't need to send your children to the private school to get a good education. I'm a product of primary education.
Where are you going to get the funds?
The funds are there. You just have to have the political will.
Okay.
You have to have the political will. Healthcare, let me quickly answer you on healthcare.
Yeah.
By virtue of my profession and my experience of 35 years in healthcare, we are going to have a standard healthcare in Ekiti.
Okay.
Even you guys from Lagos will come and get your healthcare in Ekiti. That's where we're going.
She's the type we need in today's politics.
Amen.
I'm willing to join our campaign organization. Johnson says same politicians enact laws, execute, implement all of them that favor them and their interests. What favors other people are trashed in the bills. In the bin. No. Andrew Instream says, please, Murayo, ask how many states make up Ekiti Parapo. Just a joke. G-Bot Judo says, I hope Ekiti people will begin the political tsunami by voting Dr. Yaya Kolade. Your ex says, if only these greedy men in politics will allow women to rule, Nigeria might be a better place. So we mentioned during the break that you said that for all the good things we want to see, it will happen when we involve more women, more women involved in politics. We will be able to see youth being involved more in politics. What are you going to do to galvanize women into doing this?
You know, this is what I've been doing. I've been working with the grassroots women in the past.
Okay.
I'm part of the stakeholders of the APC women in Ekiti.
Okay.
So I'm very conversant with them. I'm not going there as an elite. I'm going there as one of the women. And that's part of the problem. However educated and elitist you want to be, you have to be able to deal with the grassroots.
Let me let you throw it.
Okay, is a patriarchal community where women answer to their husbands.
Yes.
So a lot of husbands have refused their wives from getting into politics.
Yes.
That I know. So how do you carry their men along to release the women to come and serve?
Okay. I am a married woman. I'm married to a professor of medicine who is very, very, very...
oh my God.
Highly educated.
There's a professor in every house.
Definitely healthcare.
So the truth about it is that I'm an example to the women.
Right. Yeah.
Every campaign trail we go, my husband is sitting by my side. And he's still right here.
We see you.
So that's my husband sitting there. Right. And all these women, they come and greet Daddy, good afternoon, Ekbelesa, and all these things. Yeah. This is an encouragement for the women and for the men. Right. And one thing is that those men are seeing that not every woman in politics is a prostitute.
Thank you.
Sleeping around. Because the point is that, number one, a woman like me, I don't even know who you will be. You will come and talk to me. What do you want to talk to me about?
Exactly.
What do you have to offer me?
Yes.
And so there's a thing of, and it is a good thing. And all my sisters in Ekiti, at least most of them, there are some of them that I haven't seen the light, but majority of the women have seen the light. And there is a momentum going on.
Unfortunately, we have to run. Thank you very much. I think we learned that we shouldn't use women that are into politics are prostitutes as a deterrent.
yes.
Women must go out there, which is when you have strong
We have the
support
numbers.
from family.
We have the
Thank you
numbers.
very much, ma. We hope we wish you the
Thank
best. It is the hottest thing right now, so we're going to be
Yes.
getting lots of aspirants that are coming on the show. We'd like to hear from them because we want to get it right. We want the people to be empowered to make the right decision.
I will
Thank
vote
you very
for
much.
you.
Yeah.
All right? You're not going to make it.
Thank you for having me,
Thank
ladies.
you.
We had fun, man.
Don't forget,
really,
Wednesday
really
is our
appreciate
live
you.
audience show. Please
Thank you.
come early.
Thank
We
you.
want as many people to come as possible. Please come dressed nicely, no slippers. You know, want to look good on TV. Have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.